Hey guys, how many of you have actually used a Ouija board or even thought about using it? I'm not going to discourage you from using it. I'm just going to give you helpful tips on what to do to stay safe while you're doing the Ouija board. Now I know there's like so many skeptics out there that are just dying to turn this video upside down, saying, well, you know what, Monica, nothing happened when I used it. It's all bullshit. It's all just for games. Sure, there are spiritual games you guys can play, and Ouija board being one of them, which is the most popular one that so many have been using, I don't know how many freaking years. But there are dangers that come with it. Now, just because when you use a Ouija board, nothing happened to you, it doesn't mean it didn't happen to somebody else. And I'll go into details in a minute about that. But when it comes to Ouija boards, many have come to me and asked me, how come things started happening to me after I did 1 session, 2 sessions, 10 sessions? Doesn't matter. Something happened to them while they were using the Ouija board. My answer to that is, what happens when you use a Ouija board is it opens up a portal. Now, without a portal opening up, if you have no spiritual or demonic attachments, then where the hell are the spirits going to come through, especially while you're doing it and you're conjuring up these spirits? Now, when it comes to the Ouija board, I'm going to be very honest. Regular spirits, good spirits, do not come through the Ouija board. The Ouija board is actually considered one of Satan's games. Believe me or not, one of Satan's games to lure people in. And this is a sneaky way to conjure up demons without the dark side telling you. And the dark side meaning Satan, of course. Not everybody could talk to him or know how to. But yes, it is very dangerous when it comes to you not having the knowledge and not knowing how to send the spirit, or I should say demonic entity you conjured up and opened up the portals and all the good stuff. If you don't have the knowledge or experience in how to send that entity back and close up the portals after you do a session, Ouija board session, then yes, it can get dangerous. And in most cases, it has. Now, let me explain this. Just because something doesn't happen to you at that moment when you're using it, it doesn't mean you didn't open up a portal and spirit didn't come through. Now, demonic entities, the spiritual realm in general is very tricky. Unless you know what you're doing, it's very tricky. So I suggest you not to dabble with it unless you know how to take care of it and what to do. But when it comes to Ouija boards, tarot cards, any kind of material that you're using to conjure up spirits, it's the demons that come through. Again, it is Satan's game that he plays with humans on earth. It's a very tricky way to conjure up these demons and have his demons manipulate people once they get on earth. And of course, every entity that comes on earth has a motive, okay? And a lot of these dark entities, their motive is to cause havoc, to cause health issues, family problems, you name it, these entities cause. So when it comes to conjuring up spirits, you might as well just light a candle, do a seance, and have all these entities come in and talk to them. Well, a lot of people don't know how to do that either, so they turn to the Ouija board, which is easier. If you want to communicate with the spirit, just please be careful and know what you are doing. When these entities come in, a lot of my clients, I should say, that contact me, either they have done it themselves and done the Ouija board session and it went wrong, or they didn't close the portals back up, they didn't do what they were supposed to do, or somebody they know have done it. Either they were present at the time, or somebody they're close with, or maybe they live with, And now they're experiencing all these things that you have done yourself, but yet it went to somebody else. And that's what happens also. Just because you don't personally experience it at that moment, which you will end up experiencing it eventually, but just because you don't experience it, it does not mean that somebody else in your life doesn't experience this. Because what happens is demonic attachments jump from one person to another, to another, to another, even from generations to generations. They're the same entities that stay within that family, and they cause havoc and pain and misfortune, and I mean, you name it, they do it. Okay, again, if you don't know how to deal with it and you don't know how to push them back out and close the portals. I'm going to give you guys a really good example. And this is going to answer a lot of you guys' questions, because I know by now you guys are asking, Monica, have you done a Ouija board before? And the answer is no. Honest to God, no. And let me explain something and why. So I was at my friend's house one day. And my friend wanted to, one of my really good friends, wanted to do a Ouija board session. And I started freaking out, and I said, I have no part of it. I don't want to do it. I'm leaving. So eventually I ended up staying because she begged me. She was kind of, skeptical but scared at the same time. She didn't know what was going to happen. And she just wanted me to be there for protection and just to make sure that she survived through the whole thing, basically. So I agreed to stay, and we were in her bedroom, and of course me sitting on the other side of the bed, just on the other side of the room, just basically away from what she was doing. So she had this vanity, and she had placed this homemade Ouija board, which she made herself. And for the pointers, she was using a pencil, a very sharp tip pencil. So what she did is she closed all the drapes. She lit a bunch of candles around the Ouija board and around the room. The whole room was lit up with candles, of course, with all the lights turned off. The drapes were closed. The curtains were, shut. And so I'm sitting there, and she starts this Ouija board thing. She says, well, I need one more person. And I said, I'm not doing it. You can hate me if you want. You can love me forever. I am not doing it, because I've had so many clients throughout so many years until today where they contact me and they ask me for help to get rid of the demonic attachments they had after they did their Ouija board session. Okay? That is why. So I said, no. I said, I'm going to try it by yourself and see what happens. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. You know what I mean? I'm not here to encourage you. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But I'm not participating. I have nothing to do with this. So finally she gets the courage to do it. And so before she even gets into depth with asking, all these questions that I've seen people ask during Ouija board sessions, she said something made her let go of the pencil. Now the pencil was standing straight up where she was holding the tip of it, and for it to move by itself. So when she started it, all of a sudden she said she felt the tip, the bottom, the tip of her finger started to get warmer and warmer. Eventually it was hot enough for her to let go. When she let go of the tip, myself and her both, it was crazy, have witnessed one of my crazy paranormal shit I've witnessed. So the pencil's, sticking straight up like this with the pointer down. And all of a sudden, it starts spinning like crazy. It starts spinning. All the candles in the fucking room went out, blew out on their own, and the pencil fucking, went flat down. And so she opened the door, she screamed, she ran out, and I'm looking around and I'm like, okay, well now she has conjured up something she shouldn't have conjured up, and I'm looking to see what I could find, what I could see myself so I can send them away. But with all the distraction and the screaming and yelling and all the shit, I said, you know what, I'm going to wait until she calms down, then I'll come back and I'll cleanse the house, and, maybe hopefully she learned her lesson not to do that anymore. So I left, I went home. Later that night, I was experiencing some paranormal shit before she was. And I said, okay, well, something is fucking wrong because I didn't participate in this stuff, but yet I'm experiencing this attachment that's getting my attention, that has my attention. Now I have to get rid of it. And I was so mad at my friend, and I said, why can't that bitch just fucking listen? You know what I mean? So, whatever. I ended up cleansing my house, my room, and just, you know, sending whatever the fuck it was that was attached to me. And I opened a portal, send it, and close the portal, and it was done. Well, the next night, it was about around, like, I should say, like, between, like, 1:45, 1:50 in the morning, I get a call. Holy shit, what the fuck's going on? So I get a call, and of course, guess who it is? My friend. So she is freaking out, and she wants, and at that time, I did not live that far from her, so it was a quick trip to her house. So she said, she's like, Monica, I'm sorry, I was fucking stupid, I can't sleep right now, I don't know what's going on, but I'm feeling this heaviness, I'm feeling like this darkness around me, I feel like I'm about to get attacked any moment. Like, she felt it, you know. So I go to her house, and it was around 2 in the morning I got there, and I said, what the fuck did you do? Of course, the rest of the night I had to stay and do the cleansing and all that good shit. And I looked at her and I said, what are you going to do with that? The homemade Ouija board shit you just made. Oh, well, I don't know what to do. And I said, well, you're going to fucking get rid of it. So she did. She got rid of it. And she never did it afterwards. But, you know, whether you experience something right away or it takes a while or it jumps from, you know, it skips you at the moment. It doesn't skip you forever, but it does skip you at the moment, and it goes after other people, and then it will come back to you. Sometimes when you do a Ouija board session, if you don't know how to do it the right way, meaning you conjure up these demons, these entities, you talk to them, cool, whatever, you're having fun, you're experiencing your own paranormal stuff, your energy, you're feeling everything around you. You know what? Have fun. But my recommendation afterwards is, holy shit. Oh my god. Whew, that just, okay, sorry. That literally freaked me the fuck out. I have a couple of phones, and then out of nowhere the fucking phone just vibrated and made a noise and moved on the table. I'm not checking it right now. I'm busy with you guys. No, it just gets me jumpy when I start talking about things like this because I have experienced it myself. You know, ever since I was a little kid, I could see spirits. I've seen, you know, dark ones, good ones, in between, you name it, I've dealt with it. And, so you could see why I get a little jumpy when I get into conversations or topics that has to do with the paranormal because I firsthand experienced it. And, you know, a lot of times it's really not fun, and a lot of times it is. So, you know, whatever. That's why I'm the spirit queen, right? I deal with all kinds of stuff. But, again, going back to Ouija boards real quick before I go, I just wanted to let you guys know. I am not telling you guys not to do it, and I'm not telling you guys to do it. That is completely up to you guys. I don't tell people what to do. I just give you guys advice through my videos. And, you know, you do what you feel like you want to do. But I do give a little tips on how to protect yourself. And the best tip that I could give you right now is when it comes to Ouija boards, after you're done, before you do it actually, I would get a little bit of knowledge, maybe talking to people and finding out, you know, how to send these demonic spirits back that you conjured up and close up the portals so they don't come back and haunt you and fuck with you. I think I would do that before I do a Ouija board session and then get stuck with whatever. Not only that, it does affect the people around you. It does affect the loved ones. You know, you have, you know, let's say you live with your parents and you're a young kid, you're a teenager and you're doing this Ouija board. If it doesn't affect you, it's going to affect your parents, it's going to affect your little brother and sister, your older brother and sister, anybody that's close with you, a best friend, whatever the case is, it will affect them, especially others that join in during the Ouija board session, okay? If you're old enough to understand and to know what to do and you know, get that knowledge and do your research before you do it, that's fine. Just make sure that you know how to push the spirits back and close the portal, and then you'll be fine. You know what I mean? Of course, do that after you end the Ouija board session properly. You don't ever want to leave it unattended without the proper ending, because that could be worse. Another tip before I go, I'm going to tell you guys is, shut up. You didn't get me this time. The phone. Another tip, real quick, don't try to shut me up. This fucking phone is trying to shut me up. Another tip I'm going to give you guys before I go, is when you guys are doing the Ouija board session, make sure that you keep it all respectful, okay? I always tell people, be very respectful to spirits, and they'll be respectful to you. Even if it's a dark entity that you're afraid of, even if it's a demonic attachment you're afraid of, do not antagonize it. I know it's hard not to sometimes. Even I get frustrated, but I know how to do it. That's why I do it. I'm allowed to do it. Sometimes I'll stand there and I'll cuss the shit out of whoever the fuck is trying to, you know, attach themselves to me. And I'm like, just get the fuck away. I'm done with you, you know. But I know how to handle them. I can see them. I can hear them. I know how to protect myself from them. You guys, a lot of you don't have that experience. And of course, that's where I come in. And I do the full cleansing. And I get... My phone is just going crazy. Wow. Tonight. I'm telling you, I'm so busy. I love that this is showing right now how crazy this phone is going. Another phone. So, anyways, just be careful what you guys are doing and be very respectful to these entities, okay? It's not these entities' fault that you guys conjure them up through a Ouija board. Again, I'm not telling you not to do it, but at the same time, be respectful when you do it. Yes, please, thank you, you know, things like that. And a lot of times, if you ask them to politely leave, they do leave. And then, you know, you close the session. And, of course, you have to know how to close the portal so they don't come back. If you leave the portal open and they're gone, it's no use because they could always come back. If you need help getting rid of a demonic attachment, whether it was done through a Ouija board, a tarot card reading, which will be in my next video for tarot cards, so, you know, pay attention to that and make sure you watch that. But whatever the case is, if you guys need to get rid of a dark demonic entity that you feel like is attached to you, please don't hesitate to contact me. MonicaSpiritQueen.com is my website. You can always email me with MonicaSpiritQueen@yahoo.com. I can't stress this enough, you guys. I love you all to death, but if you do not leave me a phone number for me to be able to call you back on, I am not going to respond to that email. Only because I have so many emails, and as you guys experienced, my phone is going crazy as I'm doing this. And it does this, you know, every couple of minutes of the day, with my emails being flooded and text messages and phone calls and all this stuff. I don't have time. Not only that, I don't do email chats. I don't chat back and forth on the email. Leave me a phone number. I will do a direct phone call. If not, then those emails, because all my emails filter. They go through this filter with other people that are handling my email for me. And if they feel like I'm not going to waste my time on it, then I do not waste my time on it. I don't even get those emails. They automatically get deleted. So emails with a phone number, and please don't write me a whole life story. I mean, that's where the phone number comes in, where I could call you and you could just tell me one time what's going on. I could do the reading. We could jump right into the problem and fix it. But Don't write me a full story because I don't read it. Even if you have a phone number, I really don't read it. I just call you and ask you what's going on. And most of you have already experienced that. And some of you have already even told me, Monica, we told you what happened in an email. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But Monica has better things to do than to read a book on email. That's why if you leave me a phone number, I can call you and then we can go from there and I can fix all your problems and then you'll be done. I love you guys. Happy New Year. I hope this year goes better than last year for all of you. I am here if you guys need help or if you want a simple reading. Again, monicaspiritqueen.com, which is my website, or my email at monicaspiritqueen@yahoo.com. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great night.